These are the 10 most important things that you just need to remember if you're doing any kind of intermittent fasting or if you're following a fasting lifestyle. If you know these 10 things and you follow these 10 rules, you'll have success. It's pretty straightforward. I mean, simple success is going to be just abstaining from eating. I mean, it's that cut and dry, but it does get a little bit more technical than that. So I wanted to do a nice video that broke down the 10 most important things. Limit number 1 is going to be you should not be adding creamer to your coffee. Okay? Coffee is okay. Black coffee is totally good to go. In fact, it's going to accelerate your fast. I encourage you to consume black coffee, especially first thing in the morning. In fact, there was actually a study that was published in the journal Cell Cycle that found that both coffee that was regular and decaf coffee stimulated autophagy even when you were not fasting. Now, in case you didn't know, autophagy is a very powerful process that we want to have happen when we're fasting. Autophagy is where the cells sort of recycle their own components to become stronger. So because we're depriving ourselves of food, our cells have to go out and find their own fuel source. So they find fuel in basically the decrepit parts of the cells that aren't really working anymore. So it's a really powerful process. So coffee induces this process even when you're not fasting. So if you are fasting, you're getting a double whammy, whether it's decaf or not. Now there's another study though that was published in the Biochemical and Biophysical Research Communications Journal that found that caffeine in and of itself actually promoted autophagy too. So a double whammy, triple whammy if you will. Caffeine is going to actually boost autophagy. Coffee itself, the polyphenols are going to boost autophagy, and then fasting is going to boost autophagy. Just don't add the creamer to it, okay? Commandment number 1, don't add creamer to your coffee. So commandment number 2, going to be sipping on green tea all day, all right? So when you're fasting, I want you to sip on green tea. I want you to consume matcha. I want you to consume regular green tea and consume it throughout the course of the day. Just don't add any creamer to it or don't add sugar to it, okay? This is commandment number 2, consume green tea. You have a couple of different things going on with green tea. So one of the cool things about green tea is, of course, what's called epigallocatechin 3-galate, okay, EGCG. So EGCG is really cool stuff because the way that it works, it actually stimulates autophagy, but it also stimulates a catecholamine response. So it makes it so your body is producing more of the epinephrine and the norepinephrine that you need to actually burn more fat. But the other thing that it does is it has something called theanine in it. Theanine is a powerful amino acid, and what theanine does is it allows your body to utilize more of the GABA. Okay, now what I mean by that, your brain operates in 2 different ways. It operates on the glutamate cycle, which is what excites it and makes it kind of anxious, and it operates on the GABA cycle, which stands for gamma aminobutyric acid. Glutamate will make you hyperactive and kind of anxious. GABA makes you relaxed and calm. When you're fasting, you want to be calm. You don't want to be anxious, okay? It makes it so that you want to eat. If you're anxious, you're going to munch. You're going to just kind of impulse grab food. GABA is going to make it so you're relaxed and you're calm, cool, and collected, and you get through the day nice and easy. So we want that theanine to produce that. It's also going to help you get into that alpha wave state. This is a big deal. You've got to remain calm and cool. So like, if I need to focus and get some work done and actually get something done throughout the fasting period, I don't want to be all jittery and amped up. I want to be calm and cool and be able to get the focus that I need, okay? And that actually, after I send this email, leads me to number 3. Commandment number 3 is add salt all the time, okay? Add salt to your coffee, add salt to your tea. Yeah, literally, I'm adding salt to my green tea. Now, you don't have to add it to your tea, but at least add it to the water that you're drinking throughout the course of the day. See, it makes a huge difference. When you're consuming salt, you are remineralizing your body. So here's the problem. When you're fasting, a lot of times what ends up happening is you end up getting depleted in minerals. This can make you feel fatigued. The fatigue that you feel when you fast isn't from the deprivation of calories. That's not how it works. In fact, most of the fatigue that you're feeling is coming because you are losing minerals. The second that you're not consuming carbohydrates, your body starts to dump glycogen, which means that your kidneys are going to expel more water, which means you're going to lose your minerals along with it. So what happens with that is you end up in a situation where, of course, you're demineralized. So add salt. It's going to make it so you retain water, so you end up feeling better throughout the course of the day. Now, here's something that's also really, really interesting that has just recently been found. We have specific receptors in our gut. And what happens is these receptors, when we are deficient in salt, actually end up skewing interpretation of craving salt for craving sugar. So what that means is they're called NST receptors, and what they do is they are normally seeing salt come in. And when they see salt, you're satiated. But when we don't have enough salt, like when we're fasting, it sends a signal to our brain, and our brain gets the wires crossed and we start craving sweets. So a lot of times if we don't have enough salt, we end up craving sugar. This can be a very big problem when you're fasting.